Adjective order in English. A blue small car. Nope, that is not correct. A small blue car. That one is right. Hello guys, my name is Josh. Welcome to English Speaking 360. If you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. Adjectives give more information about a noun. For example, teacher is a noun. If you want to give more information about the teacher, you could say a Canadian teacher. Canadian is an adjective, and that is a correct noun phrase. An English teacher. English is an adjective, and it's also correct. You could also say an excellent teacher. Excellent is an adjective, and the noun phrase is also correct. But what if you want to put Canadian, English, and excellent all together in one sentence while describing the teacher? What would you do? Here's a quiz for you. Which one is right? An excellent English Canadian teacher, a Canadian excellent English teacher, an English Canadian excellent teacher. Which one is right? The first one is wrong. The second one is also wrong, so the third one is not correct either. The correct sentence would be, Josh is an excellent Canadian English teacher. Did you get it right? I hope so. Why is that the right order? In this video, you will learn the rule. Actually, it's a rule that native speakers don't even know. I'll tell you more about it in just a minute. 4 tips that will help you get it right 90% of the time. Super useful. OSAShCOMP. That's not a word. What are you talking about? OSAShCOMP is the rule for adjective order in English. O stands for opinion, S for size, A for age, SH for shape, C for color, O for origin, M for material, and P for purpose, plus a noun at the end. Now, like I said, native speakers don't know this rule because it comes naturally. We don't study this in school. But if English is not your native language, maybe OSAShCOMP is useful for you. Here are some examples. For opinion, beautiful, ugly, nice. These are opinion adjectives. For size, big, small, large, tiny, huge. Age, new, old, young, modern. For shape, round, square, flat, curved. Color, red, blue, green, black. Origin, Swiss, Indian, Chinese. Material, plastic, metal, silk, cotton. And purpose, hiking, running, and coffee. Now the last one is a little strange. I will explain it in one of the tips at the end of the video. Let's be honest here. We never use 8 adjectives in one sentence. It doesn't make sense. So for example, if you want to talk about a table, would you use 8 adjectives to talk about a table? Would you say a beautiful, small, old, round, black Chinese metal coffee table? That would sound very weird. And that is the point I want to make here. We usually use only 2 or 3 adjectives. So let's remove a few adjectives here that we don't need. So a normal sentence or normal noun phrase would be a small black coffee table. That would be perfectly normal. The first adjective to use is small, the second is black, the third is coffee. You cannot say a black small coffee table. It does not work. Size comes before color, and color comes before purpose. And that is why the rule is OSAShCOMP. Let's take another example. Woman. You could say a nice woman. You could say a young woman. And you could say an Indian woman. That works. But if we put them all together, a nice young Indian woman. Nice is first, young is second, Indian is third. You cannot switch them around. You cannot say an Indian young nice woman. It doesn't work. If you say that, people will think you're a little strange. I understand OSAShCOMP, but it's hard to remember. Yes, it is very hard to remember, and it's even harder to apply. So that's why I have some tips for you. Tip number 1, size, color, origin. This is a very, very common combination. In the OSAShCOMP rule, it is the first S and the CO. Let's take a look at an example. Blue boots, Canadian boots, big boots. Now let's put them all together into one sentence. Can you do it? Size, color, origin. So it becomes big blue Canadian boots. Big, size, blue, color, and origin, Canadian. You cannot flip them around. You cannot say Canadian blue big boots. It doesn't work. Here's another example. What would you say about this car? A big red Italian sports car. Size, color, origin. How about this? A small green Chinese scooter. Here's one more example. A tiny pink Hawaiian umbrella. So remember, size, color, origin. Tip number 2, opinion before fact. Now, if you remember the OSAShCOMP rule, opinion is first all the time. So whenever you give your opinion about something, it must be first. Here's an example. A house, an old house, a beautiful house. If we put the 3 noun phrases together, it becomes a beautiful old house. Beautiful is your opinion. Old is a fact. Look at it. It looks old. It's a fact. It's not a new house. So that's why we say a beautiful old house, not an old beautiful house. Here's another example. A restaurant. A wonderful restaurant. An Italian restaurant. If we put them all together, it becomes a wonderful Italian restaurant. Wonderful is your opinion, and Italian is a fact. You could not say an Italian wonderful restaurant. It wouldn't work. Tip number 3, origin before material. This is also a very common combination, and in the OSAShCOMP rule, it is the O and the M towards the end. Here's an example. A scarf, a silk scarf, a Chinese scarf. Think about it, origin first, material second. So if we put them all together, it becomes a Chinese silk scarf. Chinese origin, silk material. Here's another example. Bed sheets, cotton sheets, Egyptian sheets. Can you make the noun phrase? Probably. You must be good by now. We would say Egyptian cotton bed sheets. Egyptian shows the origin and cotton is the material. Tip number 5, the purpose or the type stays with the noun. Now this is a little bit challenging, and I told you at the beginning that I would help you with this. So it is the P, the last P just before the noun, and the purpose always stays with the noun. It is never separated. Now sometimes we have adjectives before the noun. Electronic is an adjective. Electronic device. Digital camera. Digital is also an adjective. Educational channel, just like my channel. Educational is an adjective. For these examples, it works. There's no problem here. It's not so confusing. However, sometimes nouns can be used as modifiers. They are not adjectives, but they modify the other noun, and they are put in the place of the P in the OSAShCOMP rule. For example, coffee mug. Coffee is a noun. It's not an adjective, but it tells you the type of mug. It's a coffee mug. It tells you what the purpose of the mug is. The purpose is to pour coffee into it. Tennis racket, same thing here. Tennis is a noun. What kind of racket? What type of racket? It's a tennis racket, and the purpose is to play tennis. And finally, a school bus. It's a bus, but what kind of bus? It is a school bus. What is the purpose? The purpose is to take children to school. So these stay together, and since they are modifiers, just like adjectives, we can put them in the place of the P in the OSAShCOMP rule. There's one more thing though. Words ending in ing can work as noun modifiers too. For example, running shoes. Now, words ending in ing are present participles. They are not adjectives, but they modify the noun. They tell you what kind of shoes. They are running shoes. They are shoes for running. Swimming pool, same thing here. What kind of pool? It's a pool for swimming. It's a swimming pool. Fishing boat. What kind of boat? A boat for fishing. So even words in ing can be seen as adjectives. They are not really adjectives, but they modify the noun. So they can describe the purpose, the P in the OSAShCOMP rule. Here's a summary for you guys. First, remember the rule, OSAShCOMP plus noun. Tip number 1, size, color, and origin. Tip number 2, opinion before fact. This is one of the most important ones. Remember, your opinion is always first. Tip number 3, origin before material. And finally, tip number 4, the purpose stays with the noun. It's quiz time! Time to test yourself. Here's a picture. Now I'm going to give you 3 adjectives here. Green, terrible, and polyester. And of course, you have the word suit. So you're talking about the suit in the picture. Can you make a sentence? Here's the right answer. A terrible green polyester suit. If we use the OSAShCOMP rule, O stands for opinion, C is for the color, M, material, and finally the noun suit. A terrible green polyester suit. No other order is possible, remember. If you say a green terrible polyester suit, people will look at you very strangely. Question 2. Leather, tight, black, Italian. And we're talking about the dress here. The sentence you should have made is a tight black Italian leather dress. Let's take a look at OSAShCOMP. Do you remember? S stands for size. C, color. O, origin. M, material. And finally, dress. Did you get it right? I hope so. This one was a little hard. Let's go with question 3. Mobile, useless, old. And we're talking about the phone. That's an easy question. The answer is a useless old mobile phone. Here we have O for opinion, useless, A for age, and finally purpose or the type of phone is a mobile phone. Question 4. Tiny, tabby, adorable. Maybe you don't know tabby. The kitten looks like a tiger, and that kind of color pattern is called tabby. Are you ready with your answer? You can say, an adorable tiny tabby kitten. If we follow the OSAShCOMP rule, O stands for opinion, S for size, and tabby for color. One more question. Old muscle classic American car. This is a little bit challenging. Can you make the sentence? Let's do it together. A classic old American muscle car. With the OSAShCOMP rule, Classic is your opinion. Old is the age of the car. American, origin, and finally, what kind of car is it? It's a muscle car with a big engine. Excellent job, guys. I know it's not easy. If you need more practice, go to my website. It's 100% free. See you next time. Bye-bye.